welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time, and I'm really happy to be back. I have been going through a challenge trying to come back to this channel. I know it's been about a year since I've uploaded anything on this channel, and I did not anticipate for that to happen. But I do want to say that I am doing well. I'm okay, and I hope that you all are great and that you're doing well as well. I guess I can start off with where I've been. Some of you might remember at the end, I think it was around September of 2021, that I had talked a little bit about me kind of like going through some things emotionally, and I was getting better, but it kind of carried on into the beginning of 2022, and the beginning of that year I also started noticing that my two best friends were kind of distancing themselves from me. They weren't very engaged with me. It didn't feel like they were putting any effort into our friendship, and I would notice that they would hang out together, but they wouldn't invite me or say anything. I was just feeling very excluded, and one of them in particular had actually done this to me before in the past, like a couple years ago. I think it was like maybe 2016. Yeah, because it was around the time I lost my grandma. When she stopped being my friend, it was very sudden. There was an argument or a disagreement. There was really nothing that happened. It literally she just stopped. I remember at one point at that time we were taking a class together. I think it was geology in college, and we sat together with this other girl, and she actually knew that other girl, and it was a night class, and after class, we'd have to walk to our cars, and it would be nighttime, and she was very big on safety and sticking together, but I had noticed that she would just leave. She wouldn't even say bye to me. She would literally just leave, and I thought it was just so weird, and I don't know, I just stopped trying because I could tell she just didn't want to be my friend anymore, and it was literally out of nowhere, and we just didn't talk for like a year, but we still had a mutual friend, and she was also like a best friend of ours. Like, we were all three in a group together, and they still were friends, so I just was on my own. And a year later, when Hurricane Harvey happened in Houston, that's when we started being friends again, and we never really talked about why we stopped being friends or like what happened. We just started being friends again, and then that happened like in 2017, and it was almost like nothing ever happened. And then just last year around this time, no, like March, I think, well, it happened earlier, but I think we officially stopped being friends in like the beginning of April. She pretty much did the same thing again, and I guess because that had happened once before, I was hurt, but I wasn't as hurt as I was the first time. The first time I felt like I just got dumped by a guy. Like, I felt heartbroken. I would cry. Like, I felt so sad. I missed her, and it was just awful. The second time around, I felt okay. I felt a little sad, but I was like, look, she's done this before. I'm not even gonna try, I think I've talked a little bit about this a few years ago on my channel, but maybe one day I'll talk about this whole other part of my church experience. But I've been going to the same church for years, and without getting too much into it, I pretty much prayed. One day I was crying and I was like realizing that I was losing these friends and I didn't have any other friends. And so I prayed and I was like, God, if you're gonna let these people walk out of my life, then that's fine, but I need new friends because I can't be alone anymore. And that same week, this friend of mine, her name is Sophia, she came up to me at church one day and was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I was like, yes. And we hung out, and then she kind of introduced me to a few other girls that go to our church, and ever since then I just started hanging out with them. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have seen these same girls in my Instagram stories or posts. Those are the girls that I started hanging out with, and they really did help me out of a lot of funks that I was in, and it made me not feel so lonely anymore. And I was always so used to going places by myself that whenever I would tell them, like, oh yeah, I went over here by myself, they're like, no, they'd be like, who did you go with? And I'm like, I went alone. And they're like, why didn't you tell us? We would have went with you. And I just never had friends really that were like that, and I don't know, it was very different. But eventually one of my best friends that I had noticed started distancing herself from me, the one who, this was like her first time doing this, she and I think she had texted me one day saying like she missed me or something, and basically we went out to go eat one day, and I really had a lot to tell her. I wanted to get a lot of things off my chest and tell her how I felt, and going out to eat in a public area wasn't the place to do that, and I couldn't really enjoy myself until I expressed to her how I was feeling. And that dinner lunch thing that we had just was a little awkward, and after she left, she had actually asked me like, hey, do you want to go to the store with me that I have to go to? And I wanted to say yes, but I just knew that I couldn't pretend that I was okay, and so I just was like, no, I'm gonna go home. And she actually told me that she cried during her drive to the store because she felt like our friendship was never gonna be the same, like it was just so different. Eventually I did open up to her, and I told her about what happened, like how I was feeling, and she told me a lot of things that she was feeling too, like a lot of ways that I hurt her, and we both just talked about it and apologized for hurting each other. And ever since then we've been fine, and now we're like back to normal. And that was last year though, like I said, so made a lot of memories with the new people in my life, and I guess it just kept me away from this channel. I did film a few videos last year, but I never got around to uploading them or actually even editing them because I just didn't feel like they were good enough. And I kind of went through this phase of privating a lot of my videos, which I think some people had noticed, because I just want to be more, I guess, aware of what I'm uploading and the kind of content I'm uploading. Not that I ever posted anything bad, but I guess I just want to put my best into my videos because I'm posting them globally, and I don't want to just put videos out there that are just like okay for y'all to watch. Like, I do want to put better effort into them, I guess, and stuff that I feel okay sharing, so that's why I privated a couple of videos. I think a lot actually, but and that's also why I didn't post the ones that I filmed last year. So I think this will be a good enough video. But yeah, that's pretty much why I was gone for a long time. Just got really busy. I had a lot of fun last year, and I don't know, just got caught up doing other things. But I hope that y'all had a great year as well. And like I said, I hope y'all are doing well. I'm fine. I also dyed my hair. I dyed my hair until, okay, my roots are actually growing. I need a haircut. But whatever. It doesn't look that bad. I've always wanted to dye my hair red for years, okay? But every time I asked someone if they thought that red hair would look good on me, everybody always said no. So I just never dyed it. And then last October, I just was like, you know what? I don't care what anyone says. I'm just gonna dye it. And so I initially wanted a copper color. But when my hairstylist took the toner out of my hair, it came out more auburn. And she was like, do you like this color? Do you want me to go copper? Because I can put the toner back in and it'll lighten it up. And I was like, I don't know. I actually liked the copper, and so I just decided to stick with it. So I've had it like this since last October. And I love it. I love it. I need to obviously redo it. The roots are not looking so great. But, yeah, I really like it. I love my haircut. I like the shorter hair. I've always had long hair. Always, 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 always. The only time I ever cut my hair super short was like 10th grade, and I didn't even mean for it to happen. The lady just cut it way too short, and I nearly cried. But I cut it really short last year, or I had cut it pretty short in 2021, but that wasn't even that was the shortest I'd ever cut it. But it wasn't like when I cut my hair like this in last year, it was shorter. So I cut it like up to here, and I actually really liked it. But right now it's gotten pretty long, so I need to cut it again. But yeah, I love it. You guys can see all my roots. But yeah. So anyways, I don't know how long I'll keep the red, but it's gonna be for a while. Speaking of last October, I also quit my job last October. I had worked there I wasn't happy. And it was also an hour away. So I would drive an hour there and an hour back home. I wasn't working for a few months, but I just recently got a new job. And now I'm a server at a restaurant, and I've never served before. Ever, ever, ever. And this is my first job as a server. My cousin, because he's been working for that restaurant for years, and he transferred to a new location, and so he got me in at this new location. And it can definitely be overwhelming. Definitely be very overwhelming when we're so busy and we don't have food runners. It just gets very overwhelming. But it's been going really well. I think I've picked up pretty fast. The only thing is that I do not drink alcohol. I haven't drank since I think 2018, and I am very ignorant when it comes to alcohol. When I did drink, I just drank beer. I always drank like Dos Equis. That was it. And so mixed drinks, I know nothing. I know nothing. And so I've learned a few drinks. I know that there's a beer called 11 Below, but I think there's different kinds. I know Mick Ultra, Modelos, Coors Light, Bud Light. I know those. My mom drank Bud Lights my whole life. But like other things like Jack Daniels, like rums, whiskeys, like I don't know anything about these drinks, y'all. So when people are like, oh, I had a table, they're like, oh, we want Chardonnay. I didn't know what Chardonnay was, so I had to ask someone like, hey, where can I find Chardonnay in the system? And they're like, that's a wine. And I was like, oh. So I know Chardonnay is wine, Cabernet, Pinot Noir, or something like that. That's a wine. So I'm learning a little bit, but I really don't know alcohol. So it gets very confusing because there's so many different categories, and sometimes like you have to push certain buttons to find it, and it just like tea electrician at their establishment, and when I read the title of the place, I was like, like, I'm gonna look up this place, right? So I googled it, and y'all, it ended up being a men's club, if you know what I mean. And I was like, yeah, no, like, I'm not gonna work here. But I was like, is this where I'm gonna have to get my serving experience? I think I saw this on TikTok where, I don't know what kind of video it was. I don't think it was related to this, to what I'm talking about, but I saw a comment that said, like, lots of adult entertainment clubs will often say, like, oh, we're looking for cocktail servers, but really what they're, like, when you go to, like, for an interview, they'll actually tell you, like, oh, we're having like a beauty contest, do you want to, like, join it, or something like that. Or I think they just use that as, like, a way to get girls to come in so that they can, like, try and convince them to do something else or something like that. I don't know if that's true. I just saw it on TikTok, but I was like, oh, I wonder if that, like, was that what they were doing too, you know? I'm not sure what else to talk about, but I think that's pretty much it. It's, yeah, things have been going great. Speaking of TikTok, y'all, I love TikTok. I'm hooked, but I think I'm going to try and, like, limit myself, because I can be on there for hours, y'all, and I'm trying to get back into reading, but I get so distracted, and so I think I really need to start cutting back my social media time. But I am on TikTok if you guys want to follow me. I started watching this new show, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it, or they don't know about it. I think it's like on MGM or something like that, but it's called From, and it's from the creators of Lost, which I think I talked about this on my channel before, but I watched Lost, and so it kind of does have that similar feel to it. Basically, it's about this town that people keep getting stuck in, and no one knows where this town is, because everybody that has been there, or everyone there, they were all coming from different places. Like, one person was coming from, like, Austin, Texas, someone else was coming from Minnesota, so it was like they don't know where they're at, but they can't leave the town, because basically they just keep going round and round in circles. If they try to leave, they just keep coming right back to the town. So they get stuck there, and then at nighttime, everybody has to go inside somewhere, like their homes, and close all the doors, cover the windows, because we're liars.